For the first half, our final speaker is going to be Marty O'Brien, who is the Executive Director of the Grace Street Recovery Services. So let's give it up for Marty.
I think it's fine. I could sort of do a Lemmy Motorhead thing.
It will sag if you do that. So you're good.
You know, us PTSD kids, fear and fearlessness, we don't quite figure that shit out. We're afraid of everything, but we're not afraid of anything. And when I was 13, I could steal your car, take it away, drive it back, put it in your yard, and just walk away like it was so casual. But man, going home to the living room, that's where the fear lies, as they say down south. There might be gators in the swamp, but it beats the hell out of what's sitting in the living room. And I know this boy, and I work with these kids in this city. And he rides his bike through the streets just over here. Take a left, take a right, take a left. And he's there, and he's 9 years old, just riding like crazy. And he pedals through a warm summer night, and he's on his way to do his daddy's bidding. He's selling heroin for dad after dad injected him when he was 9 years old. He doesn't have dreams, he doesn't have fear. Who has fear when they're high on opium? There's no room for fear because heroin fills your head and your veins with the great nothing. And it was in the landscape of that nothing that this boy grew up. Didn't go to school, didn't go on a short bus. When he went to school, he thought he was stupid, but he knew he wasn't because he was slinging $1,000 worth of dope a week. And he walked up to me one day, the first time I met him, and he had these baggy pants on, this baggy old sweatshirt, and not baggy in a very hip sort of hip-hop way, but baggy because he had nothing else to wear. And I looked in his eyes, and we always recognized each other by our broken parts, and I saw in him something. He came into treatment. He came one day, didn't come the next day. He came, he was positive for cocaine. And PTSD and ADHD boys use cocaine differently than everybody else. They don't have a Studio 54 vibe. It calms them down, and it's the only place where they feel safe. But it's an expensive little bitch. And it can run $600, $700, $800 a night. And I wonder, what does this boy need? Does he need another treatment plan? Does he need coping skills? Does he need relapse prevention treatment? Does he need the 12 core functions? So should we refer him to mental health? Should we do all of this stuff to help this boy? And I thought, oh my God. My work, we have hundreds of people in our work. And we have a half pipe, mini half pipe that's the best damn counselor in town. It just sits by itself. And the boy sits in the pipe sometimes. And the boy tests positive for cocaine again, and we're supposed to kick people like that out. You've all heard of 3 strikes and you're out, and it's baseball season. But no one talks about foul balls. And who the fuck thought 3 strikes and you're out in the first place? These are human lives. And this boy, I said to him, I will never, 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 never fucking kick you out. Stay with us. Because he's one of the lost ones. He's a trail fighting the nothing. And even when he has a good day, he's scared shitless. And even when he has a bad day, he has no fear at all. 3 strikes and you're out scares me to death. Because it has emaciated our country in an endless war on drugs that's not a war at all because it has failed a long time ago. And the other day I was standing on the dock smoking a cigarette. Not all addictions leave early. And for now, I'm just fine with mine. And I went through the place, and I saw the boy, and he smiled at me, and I walked out back, and a half hour later, and he came up to me, and he said, "Are you Marty?" And I thought, oh, shit, he must be high on benzos. He doesn't even know who I am. And I said, I am. And he said, my name is, and I'm the boy's brother. And I said, my first thought was, holy fuck, here we go again. And my second thought was, and I said to him, welcome. I'm afraid that my work has lost its poets. I'm afraid that our work has lost its storytellers. And I think it's more important than ever. I think we have great counselors, but man, do we need poets and storytellers. Because this boy never went to sleep with a lullaby. And I think he needs nightmare-ending speech that a parent gives to the child at night when they're afraid of the ghosts under the bed, afraid of the ghosts in the closet, and we can't convince them that they're not real because guess what? I think they are, but what we can do is sing Hush Little Baby. Don't say a word. Daddy's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, Daddy's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring don't shine, nightmare-ending speech this boy and his brother need to be soothed to sleep with dreams that heroin stole. Father raped him when he was 10. Uncle raped him when he was 10. What the hell chance does he have? But maybe the poets, maybe the storytellers, and maybe a lullaby that makes sense to this kid, because Hush Little Baby is a story that whenever you fail, whenever you break, if you lose your diamond ring, Papa's gonna give you something else. And if your mockingbird don't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. There's always something more to give, but 3 strikes and you're out always takes it away. We're gonna kick your ass out of treatment. 3 strikes and you're out. That scares the shit out of me. What have I lost if I buy into that? I'm a storyteller. I don't teach, I tell stories. I don't do them very well most of the time. But man, when I look in these boys' eyes, these little girls' eyes, I don't even want to tell you their stories. They're so sad. And I happened on a book 3 weeks ago that you can't buy in a psychology store. You can't buy it online. And the name of it is Everything You Wanted to Know About the Big Motherfucking Sad. And it's written in a barn in Kansas, and this guy rules with his advice. We need something. We need the poets to write between the lines of stories that shimmer with hope and dignity. Because in our world, we always recognize others with broken parts. Thanks.